What's going on, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. We have a lot to talk about today. We have a former superstar retiring from the game of baseball. The all MLB first and second teams were announced. And then we also have Steve Cohen, the owner of the New York Mets. Yeah, he kind of went off on Twitter, and it's just a very Mets thing to do. I mean, the Mets remind me of a Trader Joe's parking lot. You're excited to go, and then you get there, and it's like, why did I come here? But if this is your first time on the channel, we talk baseball every single day, so if you're into that sort of thing, don't be afraid to leave a like and subscribe. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is some breaking news. This happened about 45 minutes ago at the time of this recording. Wade Davis has called it a career after 13 seasons. He's a three-time All-Star, a two-time reliever of the year, and he ends his career with 141 saves and 63 wins. If you don't remember, he used to be a starter, and he transitioned into a closer, just like Mariano Rivera did once upon a time. And from 2014 to 2017, he was unhittable almost. He had a combined 1.45 ERA, a 2.23 FIP, and about 250 innings. He was lights out in the playoffs, but over the last 3 or 4 years, we kind of have a bad taste in our mouth because he was horrible with the Rockies and then horrible again with the Royals. But hey, shout out to Wade Davis, one of the best closers that I've seen in my lifetime. So if you guys did not know, 2 years ago, Major League Baseball came out with a new award system, the all MLB team. So there's a first and second team. Let's go ahead and see who these snubs were, at least in my opinion. For the first team, I feel like Zack Wheeler was snubbed, as well as Jose Ramirez. Both of those guys, in my opinion, should have been on first team, and you can make an argument that Kyle Tucker should have been in over Aaron Judge, but Aaron Judge sneakily had a very outstanding season, and he stayed healthy, and that's what we expect from Judge if he can do that for the next few seasons, as long as his body can hold up. But to me, Zack Wheeler and J-Ram are the obvious choices. I just don't understand how Zack Wheeler can beat out Max Scherzer and Walker Buehler for the Cy Young Award because he came in second place, but then he loses to both of them in the All-MLB Awards announcement. So does that mean that there are two different voters for Cy Young and All-MLB? This just doesn't make sense to me, so let me know in the comment section down below. Do you think that Max Scherzer and Walker Buehler deserved it over a guy like Zack Wheeler? And also, do you think that J-Ram should have been ahead of Austin Riley or Rafael Devers? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, because to me, I could just be a biased Guardians fan. I gotta remember to say that going forward, because J-Ram, again, he's a Guardian. Real quick, I do want to discuss Kendall Graveman inking a 3-year deal with the Chicago White Sox. On paper right now, the White Sox bullpen is Craig Kimbrel, Liam Hendriks, and Kendall Graveman. That is a scary 1-2-3 punch. But, of course, with this signing, it means that Craig Kimbrel is going to be on his way out. But we'll talk about that in just a moment. Let's focus on Kendall Graveman, because 2021 was the definition of a breakout season. From 2014 to 2020, he had a combined 4.5 ERA and FIP. And then in 2021, he said, enough of that noise. He turns in a 1.77 ERA and a 3.19 FIP in just about 56 innings. So that's not a huge amount of innings, and I'm wondering if he is going to regress in 2022. But that means the White Sox are definitely trading Craig Kimbrel, who is owed $16 million. And if you don't remember, Raisel Iglesias of the Angels, he just had a fantastic 2021 season, and he rejected the qualifying offer of $18.6 million. So if the Angels can trade for Craig Kimbrel, they'll be saving money, and they'll be getting a top-end closer. You might think that Craig Kimbrel is washed, but I just don't think he's as good, at least mindset-wise, when compared to he's in that closer's role, and he has that mentality of, I'm the guy, not Liam Hendriks, and I think that he will be better going forward as a closer. And if he's with the Angels, fine. If the Angels re-sign Raisel Iglesias, that's cool as well. But other teams like the Phillies, I think Craig Kimbrel would be perfect as a closer and have Ian Kennedy transition to a setup role. As of right now, again, I do think that the White Sox have the best bullpen in baseball on paper, but we can't discount what the Braves did. I mean, they were lights out all of the 2021 playoffs. Luke Jackson had that weird series against the Dodgers, but he has said out loud that the Dodgers are his daddy. So let me know, who do you think has the best bullpen? Moving on over to another breaking signing, we have Steven Matz going to the St. Louis Cardinals on a 4-year, $44 million year. I could not be happier for him because he was atrocious the last few years and then turned in a solid 2021 2021 with the Blue Jays, a 3.82 ERA and a 3.79 FIP, both very respectable numbers. He was reliable. I think that's the one word we could say. Now, in the years prior, he had a 4.83 ERA and a 4.92 FIP. Those are both horrible, and it reminds me of Alex Cobb. I completely wrote off Alex Cobb at the beginning of the season. I said the Angels maybe made one of the worst trades because I thought Jahmai Jones was at least going to produce more for the Orioles than Alex Cobb did for the Angels. I was completely wrong. I'll take that off the chin because he had a fantastic year, and now Alex Cobb is going to get paid as well, whether he goes to the Giants or back to the Angels. I hope he goes back to the Angels because they gave him a shot. But Steven Matz, apparently he was telling the owner of the Mets behind closed doors, along with his agent, that he was going to be going back to the Mets, that there was unfinished business. So Steve Cohen saw this, and he decided to get on his old phone or computer, whatever he was, and he typed out this right here, basically saying that Steven Matz and his agent were very unprofessional, and they broke a pinky promise. Then the agent actually caught wind of this and said that he was going to take the high road and not respond on Twitter. But then he sends his response to Ken Rosenthal, who immediately posted on Twitter. So it kind of defeats the purpose, but maybe he meant on his personal Twitter. But I just want to say, if you ever mention that you're taking the high road, most oftentimes it's not going to be perceived as that. So in regards to the Mets, again, they remind me of a Trader Joe's parking lot. If you're not old enough, if you've never been to Trader Joe's, just trust me. It's a fantastic comparison. It's just pure madness. There might be a Phillies fan out there who made a deal with the devil and he has a Mets voodoo doll. That's the only explanation that I can have, because this team is always in complete turmoil. I guess a lot of Mets fans are actually saying, thank you, baseball gods, that the Cardinals stole Steven Matz, because now we can use that money to go re-sign Marcus Stroman, go grab other starting pitchers, because they think that Steven Matz is going to regress. I don't think that's the case, especially when you factor in the Cardinals defense. I think that Matz is going to get even better. Now, here's a funny story in regards to a former Mets. So we talked about Steven Matz. Let's talk about Noah Syndergaard, because apparently he was asked who he would want to strike out if he had Thor's hammer. And if you're brand new to the baseball scene, or you just have no idea who Noah Syndergaard is, he looks like Thor, you know, the Marvel character. So Thor has a hammer. So a guy asked Noah, who do you want to strike out if you had the actual Thor hammer? And he said Carlos Correa. One, for obvious reasons. He's alluding to 2017 and what he said about Cody Bellinger in 2020, telling him to shut the F up. And then also what he had to say about Derek Jeter. Correa, about a week ago, came out and said that Derek Jeter did not deserve a single Gold Glove award, pretty much saying that he was overrated as a defender. So Noah, maybe he grew up a Derek Jeter fan. I'm not really too sure, but we have a lot of respect for Derek Jeter and the baseball community just because he was the captain. He was so much fun to watch. And I would even argue right now in 2021, he's still probably a top 10 name in baseball, at least in terms of recognizability. Is that a word? But that pretty much does it for today's MLB recap. It was pretty fun to talk about things other than signings. Sometimes I like talking about some spicy topics like Steve Cohen going off on Twitter and Noah Syndergaard kind of shading Carlos Correa. But thanks for watching. We're going to go ahead and end this recap with a random clip in MLB history. What about Prince Fielder stealing a nacho from a fan?
Popped up. Shallow right field. Long run here for Infante. And Fielder, and Prince can't get there. He was the closest. Did Prince just grab a nacho?
He sure did. Took one of that man's nacho.
He didn't dip it in the cheese, though.
It might have already...